Hi there, my name is Dan and I wanted to share with you today some information about my fitness system, the Sphere Body System. But before I do that, I wanted to first explain the two exercises that I just demonstrated. Now the first one is a move I call the Spinal Twist. And the whole point of this exercise is to basically turn your whole spine as far one way as possible and then as far the other way. And you keep your feet planted, and one way to make sure you're going as far as possible is to see how far you can look facing in one direction and then how far you can look in the other direction. And the benefit of this exercise is that it works and stimulates the entire length of your spine. And if you think about it, your spine is basically like the trunk of your tree, and when a tree has a strong trunk, it can have strong branches. And so if you want to cultivate strong branches throughout your body, you need to have a strong and stable trunk. Additionally, all of your organs and most of the vital functions of your body take place along your spine. So having that healthy and well stimulated and in good condition is paramount to having good health. Now, the next exercise that I paired with that is hip circles or hip twists, hip circles really, and so that's done just by planting your feet and then moving your hips in about as wide a circle as is comfortable and then going back the other way. And this is beneficial to pair with the spinal twist because when you're doing the spine twist, you're basically static from about your hips. You know, they move some, but your spine below your hips isn't really moving at all. And one of the few ways to actually focus and target the spine below the hips is to do the hip circles, as I like to call them. And so in this way you get the whole length of your spine activated and stimulated. And so I hope you have fun trying out those exercises, and in both cases, if you want to increase the difficulty of them, you can increase how fast you do it. So, you know, you can just do it really slow, or if it's appropriate for you, you can go really fast. And as long as it's, you know, stable and controlled and safe, you can feel free to go as fast as you want, and the faster you go, the more intense it will be and the greater level of strength you'll cultivate along this body system. The main thing I'd like to share with you today is an introduction to my Sphere Body System. Now, the Sphere Body System is a principle-based fitness system. So what that means is, instead of being centered around specific exercises or a specific workout or a specific piece of equipment, it's based on these sort of holistic principles that are really patterns and concepts that permeate throughout all of life, and then you base the practices that you do off of these core principles. And in this way it allows anyone to practice the system, and it also allows them to tailor it specifically for you. So, as an example, one of the most foundational principles of the system is to listen to your body. Now, listening to your body is important because, first of all, that's what you're trying to cultivate. If, you know, it's like if you were trying to paint a picture but weren't looking at the picture, seeing it clearly, it wouldn't really make sense. In the same way, sometimes people ignore their body when they're trying to cultivate levels of fitness and health, and that really doesn't make sense. So by listening to your body, you get all the proper signals of when to start and stop an exercise, and just it helps you focus on what you should or should not be doing. And in this way it prevents you from overstimulating and from not stimulating enough. And so you get just the amount that's perfect for you. And an easy way to think about this would be, you know, when you feel pain, that's a signal your body is sending you to stop doing something. and because harm is being done. That's what the pain signal essentially is. And to ignore that when you're exercising is essentially doing something that your body is telling you is harming you. So by listening to your body and stopping when your body says to stop, you get all of the benefits from doing the fitness routine or exercise or movement without any of the detriment that comes from overexerting. And this principle could be applied to, someone who is, say, 80 years old and sick, and they're trying to recover and build up their health, and they're trying to use exercise as a way to stimulate that and to stimulate their body. Now, if they overexert by not listening to their body, they'll essentially be straining their body and fatiguing it and drawing away too many resources from what could otherwise be going toward the recovery back to a better state of health. Now, so that's sort of one end of the spectrum, and on the other end you could have an elite athlete who will benefit from this same principle of listening to your body, because when you listen to your body and cultivate a greater level of fundamental health, that then cycles back to your fitness. So, of course, your fitness isn't really anything without your health. If your organs don't function, your body won't grow, you won't be able to perform when you want to perform. So, by listening to your body and cultivating your body through exercise in a way that is appropriate for your body and that's not causing harm, you actually can achieve greater growth at a more steady pace, and you won't dip off suddenly because you've sort of worn out your vitality and caused fatigue excessively and done excessive damage to your body in the hope of achieving goals faster. This in my opinion achieves goals just as quickly, but without all of the detriment, and it also has the ability to lengthen a sports career or whatever the person's goals are. So in this way you can see how working with principles benefits people on either end of the spectrum in fitness, but it also permeates into other aspects of life. Really a principle is something that is true in any context. So we can take that same principle of listening to your body and apply it to, say, somebody who has a habit of overworking or really likes to work a lot. Say that person was feeling fatigued, or let's say they were working a lot and getting tired, and their body was saying, alright, that's enough, let's take a break now. And the person ignored that because they really wanted to get a lot of work done. Now, what can end up happening if you keep ignoring these types of signals from your body is they'll eventually sort of basically crash with, either adrenal burnout or any type of illness, and then they really won't be able to do the work that they were trying to do in the first place. So if they had just listened to their body at the start when the body was telling them to rest, they would have been able to really have a more steady and stable and ability to work on what they were trying to work on, and long term they'll have a greater benefit from listening to their body because of the stability that this principle brings you. So in this way you can see that principles apply in fitness to anybody, and so you can apply the principle to whatever you're trying to do personally, and you can also apply it to other things. Now, an advantage of being able to apply a principle that you practice in fitness to other things is that there's a direct carryover. So as you work on a principle while you're exercising, you're practicing your ability to do that principle, or that principle is being enhanced within you, and that carries over into other aspects of your life. So in this way, the sphere body system, because of its basis on principles, allows you to cultivate every aspect of your life through fitness and movement practices. So this is just sort of a brief introduction to sort of some of the foundations of the sphere body system. But if you'd like to know more, you can head over to the spherebodysystem.com, and I'll place a link right here, and you can check that out for more videos and information, and I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you again later. Bye.